Hi, everybody. This is Ronda Cobb, the Money Coach, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to have a great show. So, just so we know, a little tiny bit of housekeeping. All right. Don't forget the new website, rcmoneycoach.com, and of course, the new company pages on both Facebook and LinkedIn, Ronda Cobb, the Money Coach. So, look us up, follow us, and we'll drop you some free tips. If you follow us consistently, we might consistently, we might follow you too. That way, everybody wins, right? And if you want to opt in for the real freebies, go to the website and share your email address with us. And I promise we don't sell it, we don't share it. And every once in a while, we'll send you something really cool. Okay? So you're awesome. Thank you very much. And right now, I apologize if you hear a little executive assistant input in the background. Mr. Buster is barking because one of my neighbors is doing a little bit of home improvement and he's barking at the noisy guys. Okay. So sorry, but what can you do? He's a little bitty dog. He knows no better. In the last show, we talked about crazy 2020, remember, and the huge discount we're offering on the 10-day Fast Start Money Management Program. So, gotta ask, did you order it? Did you start? How's it doing? You should be more than halfway through by now, right? You ordered it. Is it taking what I thought it was going to take? Maybe about an hour a day? A little bit less? Are you a rock star? You're going through quicker? Maybe a little bit more? You're very careful and thorough? Either way, it's all good. And of course, I gave a giant discount to you early enrollees. So for people that have not yet enrolled, jump over there to the link and find out if that giant discount is still out there. It's bit.ly/2 capital X capital S 2 small d 4 capital K. Now, on with the show. And I had somebody ask me this. It's so funny. They said, seriously? You're doing a show on life insurance? With all that's going on, you're doing a show on life insurance. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to learn about today. And you want to know why? Because too many people don't have it. Too many people don't have enough, and too many people are relying on relatives, friends, or, oh dear, a GoFundMe page to pay for their funerals. That means there are a lot of people, your loved ones, people, that are getting left in the lurch because life insurance was never purchased. So, this, my dears, is your round to it. Let's get around to it and get this done. Wake up and get this handled. So, this is truly and actually the perfect time to refresh our knowledge of life insurance. Now, prior to going into details in this educational program, here is the small print. As most of you know, I am a licensed insurance agent. So if you need life insurance, yes, please do send me your email. I'd love to work with you. If I'm not licensed in your state, I'll find someone for you who is. Okay? That's the deal. Now, today's show is only educational. We're not talking about specific brand names or specific products, and any examples we give are only generic examples. When I work with a client, I work with fitting their exact need and fitting it to their goals. All right? So let's start with insurance basics. Okay? What is whole life insurance? It's a good question, and you don't hear a lot about it these days. Whole life insurance is insurance that has a premium for either a specific numbers of years or your whole life. That's why it was called whole life to start with. You paid a premium the whole time. The premium remains level the entire time. So if your policy is $50 a month, it's always $50 a month. The face value, which is the amount that the policy pays to your beneficiary, also remains level. So if you start with $50,000 worth of insurance, you always have $50,000 worth of insurance. Now, most whole life policies pay interest or dividends on the cash value inside the policy. And after a period of time, you can generally borrow from that policy's cash value and then pay yourself back. Whole life is appropriate for people who want insurance in place for as long as they live, and for people who want a set premium based on the age they are when they buy it, and a slowly rising cash value account inside the policy. This is a convenient type of policy because you set it up on auto pay and it never changes. It just continues until that day comes when you need it. All right? The next kind is term life insurance. Term is the insurance that you rent, so to speak, for a specific period of time, hence the label term. When the term ends, or the period of time, when the term ends, so does the insurance. You are paying for the insurance only. The premium may increase each year as you age. In some policy, the premium is held level for a set number of years. However, after that set point passes, the premium rises to reflect the premium of the owner's current age. Not the age when you bought the policy, but your current age. The face value stays steady throughout the life of the policy. There is no interest paid nor any cash value in a term policy. Therefore, there are no loans from the policy available either. At the end of the policy, it's done. You can't turn it in and get the cash value out because there is no cash value. All right? So if you do not pass during the term, there is nothing, no gain. This is appropriate for people who want insurance for a specific amount and a specific term or time period. After a certain age, term insurance is quite expensive. The downside is that many can fall into a trap by buying a level premium product that will last for 20 or 30 years. And they forget that at the end of that term, they will have to pay a significantly higher premium or shop for insurance again at their current age and level of health. Now, many well-known financial speakers say, buy term, invest the rest. I say, look before you leap. Will you actually invest the rest? If so, where? How much will it earn? Will it be safe from the volatility of the market? Will it be tax sheltered? And is this the best plan for you? Must be the best plan for you, especially if I'm going to write it. Next is universal life insurance. Universal life is a whole life policy that is also a term policy. The premiums are flexible. The face value can also increase over time, and there is a cash value inside the policy. Premiums can end at a specific age if sufficient funding is put in during the early years of the policy. The downside is that if you cut the premiums in the early years, there won't be enough cash value in the later years to keep the policy going without significant increases in the premium. But the upside. The upside is that if you want a tax-deferred long-term savings at a really good rate, a face value equal to the original face value plus the cash value inside the policy, the option to borrow from the cash value and repay yourself, then this is a really good choice. It's appropriate for people who want that. It's appropriate for people who want flexibility and the multiple options available to a universal policy owner. Since it may require a few minutes of time each year to review the statement and determine the best premium for the next year, it is also appropriate for people willing to do this. And until recently, those were the three choices. Whole life with a reputation of being ill-advised and expensive, term life with a reputation of being cheap and therefore better, and universal, which has a reputation of being difficult to manage. And let me just say, I don't agree with any of those three reputations. I agree that we should find the one that's best for you and fits your goals. But before you decide, A, you want to get a lot more information than this little educational event here. But B, there's a fourth choice. So listen up, we got one more. What if you need, let's invent a number, $200,000 worth of life insurance, but you only want that much until your mortgage is paid off and the kids are grown up? And then after that happens, the mortgage is paid and the kids are grown, you still want $100,000 worth to be enforced for the rest of your life. But you don't want to have to reapply for new insurance when you're in your 50s or more, and you don't want the expense of the big whole life policy your entire life. So what do? Well, you get the new thing. It's a blended whole life product. A blended whole life policy is a policy from one company with one premium, it's one policy, and one statement. Inside this one policy, the whole life portion stays steady in face value, and the premium stays steady too for your whole life. And that portion builds up a cash value just like whole life because it is whole life. But the term portion is like the add-on. So what that does is bump up your face value for the term period or the time period that you need the additional insurance, and it stays level, that face value. But that carries a lower premium, and it lasts for the term you specify, usually 20 to 30 years. But that term part of the policy does not add to the cash value. It's just there to inexpensively or economically boost the face value of that policy during the years when you need the boost. Now, this is appropriate for people who know they want insurance for their whole life, but they need more insurance at the front end of the policy. It also offsets the risk of insurance not being improved after a term policy expires. It's a great option for those with bigger insurance needs, but tighter budgets. Do you know anybody like that? Anybody's got a little bit of a tight budget going on? Yeah, lots of us. So, in the next lesson, we'll talk more about how you can use life insurance in other ways to get your money planning where you want it to be, because life insurance can be used as a tool, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's really kind of very fascinating once you start looking at it. In the meantime, if you have questions about our brief educational life insurance